Did you get on and what? Girl!
She went to turn it on, and I know it goes on an angle like this, and she's standing right here. And just went,
Oh my gosh. Oh, the pains of muddy spring. Let me see you.
this water's all
You're gonna have to go inside and change clothes.
I probably will.
And this is why we have so many play clothes that I don't care about. Welcome back, guys. This is Brianna, and today I thought I would walk you out to my little raised garden beds in our backyard and show you just kind of our setup back there. It worked for us last year. It was fun, and we did learn a lot. So I thought I might share a few things that we did that were mistakes, and that way maybe you won't have to repeat our mistakes. But yes, there's a few things that we did do that I wish we could go back and done differently. But we learn through mistakes, and so let's go show you our garden. What are we doing?
Let's go outside.
You gonna help show the garden?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so it is muddy, so I'm gonna use my boots. I just got these at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's kind of like a fake spring because it's like near 70, but you know it's gonna get cold again because it's Arkansas, and that's what happens. All right, let me show you what we got here. It is super bright, so I hope you can see this, but this is our little garden. It is very muddy. See the mud? And this is one of the things that we should have realized when we were making this little raised garden bed, that this corner doesn't dry very well. So as you can see, it's very muddy. All this is just, and it will be like this all spring. So that was one of our problems that we ended up having. So this is from the back side. We just did 2 beds in a row. First we only did one set, and then I decided, you know what, we need this longer, and so we made 2 more on the back side. And these are roughly 3 feet by 6 feet. 6 feet, I think. 7 feet, I think. Something like that. And then we have a little chicken wire that runs around it with this little 3-foot post, and then I used some scrap wood and made a gate. So I'll show you the other side. And this stuff I need to tear out. It is just old peas that have survived, and cilantro. I think this is cilantro. I might just leave that cilantro there, but those guys have hung out even through our terrible winter storm we had for Arkansas. So this is really bright out here. Hopefully you can see this. So this is our little garden, our little special space, and we did a little T-post with chicken wire across it for a little trellis, and my beans did get all the way up and started to climb through, and they were like hanging down through that last year. It was really fun. And this little, just a simple pallet wood, this is just from pallet wood. So we made this little gate. The little, our rabbits problem in our neighborhood is pretty bad, so we found this was necessary. So you can see it's not in the best of shape or the best quality. It probably won't last too long and need a little work after winter, but it worked for us for what we needed it, right?
Yeah.
All right, and in here is a soggy wet mess, so I'm not gonna go in there. But I had plans of like laying down mulch or some gravel or something, but since we're moving, I'm just gonna leave it that way it is. Eli's gonna try to get some of this water to drain. But look at this. This is so incredible. So this is all of this right here survived our storm. And I actually think I have some garlic. I think that's one thing of garlic right there.
I saved this.
But yeah, tons of pea plants that survived. I don't know how. Okay, I'm sitting here in the shade because it's so bright and I want you to be able to see me. So there is a few mistakes that we made when we went to do this little backyard garden last year. And the first one was soil. So I made the huge mistake of just going by where I could get the soil the cheapest, get it delivered the cheapest, and when it arrived, they like dumped it in our driveway and we had to haul it around from the back or into the backyard, and it was so wet and damp. Immediately I knew that we were in trouble. It was heavy, like every shovelful was just super heavy, and so it was like clay, like basically like clay. Once it dries, it like becomes like hard as rock. And I thought, okay, well, no big deal, we'll amend it, we'll put some like peat moss in it, some manure, compost, you know, composting manure, and we'll amend it and it'll be fine. So we tried that. We did bags and bags, you know, of compost and everything that I could think that would work. And so then we loaded up our beds with soil and found it would not drain every time it rained. And in Arkansas, it like rains all spring. It would just become like a muddy sitting water for days and days and days. And so I struggled with that all through spring. My stuff did not grow very well in the spring. It wasn't until the rainy season kind of stopped that my plants started to like take off. So that was a huge damper, and the first mistake we made was soil. So I highly encourage you to do your research, get some soil that drains well, that is for raised beds, that kind of thing. If you're dealing with like in the ground, just make sure it drains well, because our yard does not drain well at all, and that's why I thought raised beds would be better. But then it does matter what kind of soil you put into your raised beds. It's hard to see because it's so bright.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I looked over at you and it was still bright whenever you were doing your turn.
Feels like summer or spring.
It does, but
Here
it's
we go,
not.
got
It's
this
gonna get.
It's
gonna get- ah!
Seems like a week after.
Oh
the
my gosh.
snowstorm.
I know. That's Arkansas weather. So what are you trying to do?
Trying to make like a little ditch so it can kind of drain out, since there's a big old puddle right there.
Okay.
I'm trying to make like a ditch so it, I don't want to dig up too much right here because the bunnies will just slide
Right.
right under.
Because that's one of the problems we have in this garden, right?
I thought this was a good rock to shove up under there. The
Uh-huh.
bunnies can't get through it. I'll put some dirt, like tuck it in,
Okay.
and
And there's some gravel you can get in the front.
It's so weird right angles that the bunnies can't get in with.
Hopefully.
I'm
We don't want them eating our plants.
gonna try to bury it.
Okay.
Are we doing more tomatoes this year?
We are.
They're all in the
Lots of tomatoes.
Yeah, I remember like.
Okay, so my second mistake was not being prepared for the local bunnies and problems with animals. So this was a huge game changer for us once we finally got this little, and it's this rickety little fence put up. Then it worked to keep the bunnies out enough that my plants were able to grow. It was just super disheartening because every time I'd plant something in the ground or start something by seed, it'd start to take off, and then the rabbits and the little neighborhood rabbits would come around and have a snack, and there goes all my hard work. So that took a long time for us to like click that we needed to put a fence up. I don't know why it took us so long, but I mean probably like a couple months, but like we finally put the fence up and things started to grow better. But it's not even that much of a big deal. It was like 1.5 roll of chicken wire and some 3-foot posts right here, and I just like took a hammer and hammered these in, and that was good enough. So, and that, I stapled the bottom here. I stapled the bottom here with a staple gun, and it kept them from getting in that way. So that, along with our gate, saved the day for us and made it where we could still have plants. So we just had to make sure that if the kids went in to grab tomatoes or something, that they shut the gate and the bunnies wouldn't come in. So we like the bunnies. They're super cute hopping through the yard, but not in our garden. Okay, my third mistake I made was not being prepared for pests. So I did not have any plan for pest control, and I did know that I didn't want to use the typical chemical pesticides. I knew I didn't want to do that, but I didn't have a plan on what I was going to use instead. And so with COVID and everything, it made it really hard for me to find any pest control that was organic around here, and I couldn't find stuff locally and online. The prices were super hiked. So I found up some ways that I could do some things naturally with just like some home products and some like essential oils and stuff like that that I used in spray bottles. But that is really all I was left with. So that means I was like constantly out here like picking bugs off of plants and just trying to like beat the worms to my tomatoes. You know, every day I was out looking for worms on my tomatoes, and it was just like a battle. So this year I have a better plan. I bought a couple things that I'm hoping I can use and have success. Thank you, sweetie.
I picked it from, I picked it from a ditch.
Oh, that was so pretty. And a little white flower.
Because I needed boots.
Awesome. It is so muddy. So I just made do with what I had, but I will do another video of the organic type pest control that I have found helpful more towards the end of the season. Since I haven't used it yet, I don't really want to recommend something I haven't used yet, so I will save that for a later time. But I have got a couple things that I'm going to try this year, and it'll be fun to see what works and stuff. Just make sure you have a plan, because if you don't, then you'll be left with something eating all of your hard work, all of your plants that you've spent so many hours on, and that's just disheartening to watch your plants just kind of like get eaten alive by all these bugs. Okay, so these are just a few mistakes that we did last year, and mistakes are gonna happen, and so you're gonna find that you're gonna make your own mistakes just like we made our mistakes, and you can try to prepare as best you can. We did make mistakes, but that's how we learn. We learn through making mistakes and trying stuff differently the next year, and it's all just a big learning experience. Okay, so I ran inside to find the couple things that I bought, and the first thing I bought was, this says it is organic gardening. It is called BT. It's for worm and caterpillar killers. So for me, this was one of the biggest things that I had problems with last year, was those stinking little worms. So I'm hoping that this will help. It does say it's organic, and the ingredients seem okay, so I'm hoping that that will work. So our goal is not to do like 100% organic, just because it's kind of impossible for us, but as close as possible. And I don't want to be spraying chemicals on my food that I'm going to be feeding my family. So we work really hard in our house to not spray and put chemicals on our body, and our products, like our personal care products and the things that we eat, is included in that. So we're working diligently in all those areas. I don't want to grow something that also has been sprayed with chemicals. So this is the other thing. It is food grade diatomaceous earth. So this is like a powder that I guess you spread over the plants. So I haven't tried it yet, so I can't recommend it for sure if it works, but it's supposed to help with different kinds of bugs and stuff, and we're gonna give it a try this year. So once I have gone through this growing season, I will give an update on what things we used and things that we found helpful for using an organic pesticide options. Okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today as we showed you our little garden space and what it looks like right now as we're getting ready for our spring planting. So much fun, and a few mistakes that we made last year, maybe they'll help you not make those same ones for your coming growing season. All right, thanks for joining us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, and leave a comment, and we'll see you guys next time.